Here we are. Yes, hopefully that is sharing. I'll put it in slideshow mode. It's been about a month since the last Portland pod. We've just landed a deal for Daniel Gafford that's given us a piece for the future for 26-27 that we um, really needed. And I'll just go through my thoughts on the deal. Um, I will go through our potential future moves that I've got some aspirations for, um, and maybe just some general chat at the end. But uh, the deal for Gafford went through yesterday, and you can see down below these are the players who have currently got on my roster that are under contract for next year. And it actually creates quite a nice spread. 10 deep. Sorry, pardon me. 10 deep at each position, and you can see Gafford slots nicely in at the center spot. I enjoyed the discussion around Gafford. I personally hadn't seen that his rebounding ratings were that low. He seemed like a mid 80s, high 80s rebound kind of guy to me. Hopefully he can replicate that in 2K, but he's not going to be one of those real monsters like a Drummond or a um, Zubats or something like that who have their rebounds all in the 90s. But he is very athletic, and that brings me to maybe the theme of my team that seems to be um, becoming stronger and stronger, even though it wasn't intentional. Um, so if you look at the starters, yeah, we lack experience. Um, we are very tall and very long without being giants, so we're almost um, smaller and mobile, but they're bigger in 2K if that makes sense. Like Cooper Flag is a big 6'9", Gafford is a big 6'10", Brandon Mills about 6'8" in the game, I think. Black 6'7", and then you've obviously got Dame. So we are very quick. It looks like we'll be a very quick team if it stays like this, and a mix of defense and offense, and yeah, very quick and athletic team. Uh, you've got Dame who's going to just eat and shoot and score a lot as Dame does. But Black's really complementary. Flag and Gafford are really complementary to that. And then Miller can be that second or third scorer. This is where it gets fun. We've got half of the Pacers NBA team on our bench. Nemhard's looked really good in NSL this season. Sorry, one sec. Yeah, Nemhard looked terrific. This is his first week back and second week back, sorry. As a starter, he was putting up almost 20 and 10. Um, and we've given Harper a chance to start instead now, but they're very interchangeable. Um, yeah, I was kept looking and kept thinking about looking for a deal that pairs Nemhard, Top and Struce together um, for a superstar. And then I think we'll pivot from that. And I think Nemhard might be a guy we have to keep because I think what he can provide is so versatile and complementary that he could back up either guard positions off the bench. He could start in either guard positions, and he's super complementary to whoever he plays with. Sorry, next to. So let's say Dame's out and Nemhard and Black are the starting backcourt. Then Nemhard's able to take a bit more responsibility for scoring. He's a great shooter, really great in close, like scoring in the paint, scoring mid range, which he demonstrated last week when he put up 20 and 10 for the week. So he almost can run a team in 2K, it appears. And we had a winning week last week, which was awesome. So he's super versatile. And then keeping Nemhard means when we're all healthy, I've got Harper off the bench, and he has looked incredible from the get-go in real life and in 2K. Um, and it just means that we have four guards who genuinely can start. And Black's looked amazing this year as well. I'm glad my faith's being rewarded. Hopefully, in Black, I've held him for nearly 2 seasons now, which is unheard of for us. Everyone else has cycled in and out, but I think he has such an amazing build an opportunity in both formats to be a really impactful player. So he's not going anywhere. I've had multiple teams ask about him this week, and he's staying. So I love the guards, and Sasa is just guard depth. So he might not be there by the time next year rolls around, but he has a contract. Small forwards. So we still haven't seen Brandon Miller. He had a really unlucky shoulder injury to start the year. He just sort of banged into a big guy in the paint and a little bit of like an AC joint shoulder tear, which he's back in the NBA, but we're just catching up on the missed games. I'm really excited to see what he can do in 2K as well. Um, might not become the superstar that people want him to be, some people, or that he potentially could be, but he's still at his peak going to be an all-star player, I think. He has the physicality, the athleticism to be a good defender, whether that's shown or not yet. But he's only 21 or 22, super young as well. This is a super young team. When you take Dame out of the mix, everyone else is like mid 20s or younger, like two teenagers on the roster. So B Miller, we've got a lot of faith in him. I think he'll be a nice third scorer for us. Um, the Winter Soldier, Max Strus. He's almost back in real life, I think, but he's going to miss a fair few weeks in the NSL because he's missed every game so far this season. I think he had surgery. He's just a bit of a. I don't think he gets enough love. He's an amazing shooter in 2K. They've fixed his release up, so he really can act like that sniper that he is in real life, that spot up shooter. But he's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife. Like he's okay at defense. He's okay athletically. He just seems to make an impact. They've fixed him up, thankfully, in 2K, so he can actually play the role that he plays in real life. So you could do a lot worse off the bench, backing up the small forward spot. But ideally, I see a deal in the future where I'm combining Struce, top end. I mean, I don't want to trade Miller, maybe Nemhard, but same as Miller. I'd rather keep. Gafford, it's a bit of a risk to move that center spot without knowing what's coming. We'll see. Even if it's for a lesser player around 30 million or something, these two are the most likely to be combined. But until then, that is a really fun backup unit. I particularly love that guard. That quartet of guards is really fun. We move on to the prized possession of the Portland franchise and the fan base. Cooper Flag, what an incredible asset he already is, and just incredible fortune for us to have the privilege of drafting him. And yeah, he's playing insane minutes, but he's still, if you strip it down to 37, 38 minutes a game, he is still putting up 27, 7 and 5, something like that. Hey, like the paper sheets. Yeah, orange. Four. Do you mean like the little cards? Yeah. Oh no, I don't have 3B. Sorry, I've only got 3A. Sorry, I don't know about next door, but we've only got 3A. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, we're back. And yeah, Cooper Flag. Oh my gosh, I've tried to tune into all of our games just to watch him. In the preseason, he looked absolute garbage with Ingram and Lillard playing, and maybe it was just a product of 2K kind of pushing him down the hierarchy. But I was like, God, they butchered it. I thought 2K was a lot more um, respectful of the rookie builds now, and they really try and build them properly, like how they might actually play in real life. I could not have dreamed of this. He's led us to a winning record. 31.7 points, 7.7 rebounds, 6 assists. It's like LeBron numbers in real life. Obviously, LeBron in 2K is even crazier. 18 years old. He's just insane. We love him so much. Totally untradeable. Yeah, we want to hold on to Flag for a long time. Same as Harper. I can't see us trading either of those guys while they're on their rookie deals, at least. Just cannot see it happening. Obi. I just want to watch him play. He's got some really nice offensive ratings. He's a pretty one-way player. Um, but he's super athletic and now hits threes at a good clip. Obviously, one of the best in-game dunkers we have in the league. And he's really carved out like an elite role player niche in the NBA, and he's part of that really successful Pacers team from last year. And yeah, we're going to give him a try. We'll see what he looks like this season if he's not traded before then. And as I said, he might be part of a package where we combine a few people and maybe have to move out some picks because we don't have the roster space to draft them all and see what we can condense him into. But a great backup power forward. And a nice complement to either center. Like both Gafford and Jackson are very interior players. Toppin can shoot threes. Flag can shoot threes. Actually, sneakily, a really good 3-point shooting team. Yeah, everyone is a good 3-point shooter, or good to really good, um, except for the centers. But that's okay. We've targeted particular center types to maximize. Hopefully, that 2K archetype that they like in big men. And without further ado, we get to our center rotation. So I'm very early on in the season was able to identify that the Pistons would be a trade candidate for us because they were um, clearly looking to the future and stripping their team down and did so without their pick. Um, I would have loved to ransom a bit more value out of that deal because I had all the leverage probably because he needs that pick back way more than I needed Gafford. I have other options. He has to rebuild it in 1 year, or he's gifting a high pick to someone else. But I couldn't fight this feeling of like positive actions and being proactive and building the team up. I think we've done an amazing job, obviously, of breaking a team down and maximizing assets and diversifying. And I couldn't escape, even if I was chasing value, I couldn't escape the fact that this was a pretty easy way for us to get a starting center. Um, and you can say what you want about Detroit's pick being way more valuable than the OKC 29. But if I hold that Detroit pick, he might fight to sort of a late lottery pick. And you never know. Like, you never know. Um, but then we looked around at different centers. I asked about a Kongwu. Toby wanted more than I was going to give up in this deal. Um, and there's kind of like a gap between the centers that make 25, 30 million and rookie centers who we try and get, or the rookie centers, or those like those 2K vets like Plumlee, where there wasn't anyone in that mid tier, which is probably where we wanted to spend our money if we're going to try and get another star down the line. We needed to moneyball it a little bit. And you might say 15 mil for Gafford's like is right on, and that's probably true. But that's what we had to play with. So after a couple of weeks, especially after she'd made the Zubats downgrade, I just saw Gafford straight away, and I was like, that could be the avenue we go down, and call it boredom, call it itchy trigger finger. We had the chance to just hold off that deal to much later in the season, and maybe we lose more games, something like that. Um, as I said, I just felt like being proactive and with the 26-27 season in mind, that really locks in a key piece for us, and that makes that completes our starting five. And when I was looking at his ratings, he's got speed and agility in the 70s. As I said, it makes us a really fast team. And same with Jackson. Jackson now, if he was to be a starter, he's done a great job, but you would say he's a little bit out of his depth. He's 6'9", but he looks a little bit smaller in the game, but really good athlete. He now looks really good as a backup. Like he's on a really cheap deal too. So we've been able to get Gafford, lock in like an effective starting center and an effective backup center for around 22, 23 million combined, um, which has been really exciting. So that makes Jackson look even overqualified in 2K as a backup, but that's exactly what you want. You want guys coming in off the bench who are better than the other team, and you're putting some distance on the other team's bench, which I think with Nemhard, Harper, Jackson as that three, we definitely could do that. So Look, I really like how it's building. I'm trying to be patient and not cycle. I think the aprons and the trade restrictions and everything are just making it harder to flip flop and to make a deal to make a deal to make a deal. It's really hard and it can be really costly now with the GM fines as well. It's just a lot harder to make quick, rapid moves. So that's why with Gafford, I was like, look, in 10 weeks, I probably get Gafford cheaper. Maybe my personal pick's better, but it just felt like a proactive move. And I think that means something. I think we've got lots of teams out there. No offense to those people. This isn't against you. There's lots of teams that kind of wait or build slow for is it for a window? Is it because this is just you like building slowly? Or you build slowly and get to that window and you don't know how to take advantage of that and be really proactive and make the moves. And I think mindset means a lot. Even though we play, it's a video game at the end of the day. I think mindset matters a lot. And this was the first deal for us where it was going to hurt our pick value. And that's something we've protected for a year and a half now. Um, but it felt really good. It felt right. And yeah, maybe it signals the start of us um, earlier than I expected, pushing into this, trying to win, trying to like beat up other teams as much as we can and get that feeling of pride back and that winning back, which is going to come eventually, no doubt. When Dame's back, um, this team's going to just put up points, absolutely put up points. But yeah, Gafford was a bit of a bit of a fork in the road, I think, for us. And hopefully he fits. Like, hopefully he is as advertised. And despite the rebound ratings, I still think on this team he's getting 10 to 12 rebounds. His interior defense is terrific, and he's a super athlete. So I can just see if I can get them running fast breaks. They're all super quick. Like Flag and Gafford are going to beat their opponents down the court every time, I would imagine, unless it's Giannis or somebody like that. So that's exciting, and that's what I'm. That depth chart is going to stay, I would imagine, unless big unforeseen things happen, stay similar to that moving through the season and into next year because yeah, I really like the way it's building. We will see what happens. If you did sit through all that, thank you for listening. I'd love to hear about other people's team builds, what they're looking forward to, what their aspirations are. Otherwise, Merry Christmas for when that comes. Thanks for making this, yeah, the best fantasy league in the world. Thanks, admins. Thanks, Simmers, for making it all possible. Bye.